Hello and welcome to Hastings Live. Tonight I'm heading to the Stag to check out their folk night.
The Stag pub, previously known as the White Hart, is considered to be one of the oldest known pubs in Hastings. It is one of the many locations used by smugglers, and although they are blocked off today, it is connected to a network of tunnels used by the smugglers that supposedly extend out as far as Fairlight. Of course, I was heading there to experience the live music that the historic venue had to offer. As my first time visit to a traditional folk session, I was unsure exactly what to expect when I arrived. When I first saw the musicians playing around the table, I just assumed I was witnessing a live set by a band. This is purely because it sounded so rehearsed and worked out. However, I quickly discovered that they were all actually individual musicians, some of which had never even met before. One of the aspects of the venue that really stood out to me was the immensely positive atmosphere. Everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves right from the offset, and both the staff and the audience were all incredibly welcoming and friendly. It was clear to me right from the beginning that I had come across yet another example of the high level of musicianship that Hastings has to offer. Despite almost all of the parts being improvised, I found the performance to be incredibly pleasing and uplifting. It really created a great atmosphere for such a wonderful social environment. I'd actually brought a guitar along with me, and I was actively encouraged to try it out for myself. Of course, with no experience in folk music, I was initially nervously reluctant about it. However, I knew that I'd end up really regretting it if I didn't at least give it a go, and I'm so glad to say that I eventually did, because it allowed me to truly experience the sense of fun and community that drove the wonderful atmosphere within this pub. I was actually fortunate enough to have the pleasure of speaking to a member of the folk band Titus. He seemed to be very knowledgeable about the history of the folk nights at the Stag, and he was happy to share what he knew.
Music's been happening here for years and years and years, probably more than 40 years, I would think. Quite possibly a lot previously. I don't know the history of the pub way back. It wouldn't surprise me if there had been informal sessions forever in the history of the pub, but this sort of session that you've got film of has been happening the best part of 40 years with different people. People have come, people have gone, mostly pokies, and it's mostly traditional music, although hard to define quite what that means. But musicians and singers in various combinations have been here for years. And every Tuesday nowadays this session happens. It used to be a Wednesday, and it was a bit more serious. It's got looser in that pretty well anyone can come and sing if they want. And the musicians who are here, the singers who are here, will change from week to week. Some weeks obviously are better than others, more lively. Just depends who turns up, and that's the beauty of a session.
Definitely.
Sometimes it can be wonderful, sometimes not so wonderful, just depends. Sometimes it can be almost magical. And it's an institution, really, Tuesday nights down here.
In addition to providing an incredibly historical and genuinely beautiful location for these great meetings of local talent, the Stag also provides brilliant hospitality and offers a free drink to everyone who participates in the sessions. As the night unfolded, it became clearer to me why there was such a sense of openness and community here. Unlike practically every other live music event I've attended, everyone that was there became part of the performance. Whenever the musicians would stop playing, Seemingly anyone from within the bar would burst out into an a cappella performance, only to then be joined by literally everyone who knew the words.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, oh by and by? There's a better world awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Well, I told that Undertaker, please drive slow. For that body you are holding, Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, oh by and by? There's a better world awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Well, I followed close behind her, tried to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow as they laid her in the grave.
Being more a part of the rock music scene in Hastings myself, it was a truly eye-opening and magical experience as a whole. Attending this event and even taking part in it, as well as learning about its interesting history, really made me realise just how rich, diverse and cultured the live music scene in Hastings actually is. I feel like I've only just scratched the surface of what this seaside town has to offer since starting Hastings Live, and I'm really looking forward to getting out there and having more wonderful experiences like this one. I must admit, the traditional folk-driven environment felt completely alien to me at first. However, after settling in and becoming a part of it, I can seriously recommend going down to the Stag on a Tuesday night so you can experience it for yourself.
Up the hillside, gonna make that mountain mine. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, oh by and by? There's a better world awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Will the circle be unbroken